we're going to get our Sustainability Commission meeting started for today. We'll call roll shortly.
All right. Dominique Edwards. Here. Belinda Briggs. Here.
Present.
Deb Chubb.
Here.
Nancy Moldenhauer.
Here.
Larry Zimmer.
Here.
Handouts.
I got an agenda.
Okay, this is being... One sec. Andy Jans Davis.
Present.
Faye Moore.
Present.
Thank you. If you would take a look at the October minutes, I'd like to take a look at them and just make sure everything is in order. Do we have any changes or additions? Just looking it over.
Under the education and engagement,
Correct.
it would have been possible partner with LaPorte County Soil and Water Conservation.
Okay, potential partner or something.
Potential, yeah. Because I had not yet contacted them, and I officially had a no from one since then.
Okay. I'll entertain a motion to accept with our change.
Move to approve.
Second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. All right, so we're going to take a look at our student commissioner assignments again. So we are still having a little trouble getting Marquette High School. So Nancy,
I
there's
stopped
an update?
by this week and made the suggestion that the principal may want to touch base with the science teacher and, you know, see who they would recommend. So,
All right, so all we can do is encourage them to recommend somebody. Okay, thank you.
Edwin's there, you know. Maybe he could kind of harangue somebody. I mean, it's the only person I know that's there every day.
Well, I know he's there too, and I don't think it's appropriate for him to do that, but anyhow.
Okay. Next one, Green Stormwater Streets Policy and Implementation Plan. So I did share the PowerPoint with you, and then another giant implementation plan, but I thought I just copied this one for you. This is the actual policy. It is not accepted yet. It's a work in progress, but this is pretty much kind of what we've worked on the Stormwater Advisory Group for a while. I just wanted you to have a written copy of this instead of just having seen the PowerPoint presentation. We just want to see what this thing is all about. And basically, it's not a resolution or ordinance, it's a policy, which means that, if things are going forward this way, these are our recommendations, etc. So it's not an ordinance or a resolution, it's policy. So I'm not sure where this is going, in the future, but like this is a copy for your reference in case we have to go forward with this.
So, has the city adopted this policy? No, it's a suggested
It's not gone.
policy.
This is like the swag team worked on this, and then we were the next ones that were kind of brought into the fold here. And I believe the next step is to go to the city council to see, if that could be adopted. But I don't know of any other plans besides that.
Says to resolution.
It's advisory.
It does refer us to the Momentum Michigan City 2040 Comprehensive Plan.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it does reference that, of course. Yeah, that plan is comprehensive. So.
Yes, it is. It's pretty.
Right.
So I just gave you a copy for your reference. So if anybody asks you about it, or if you want to look something up about it, you can take a look and, hopefully this will move forward because it's a really nice plan.
So the the Michigan City Sanitary District passed a resolution, right? The Board of Commissioners of Michigan City Sanitary District passed this resolution recommending that the Common Council adopt this policy. So are we also going to pass a resolution recommending that the City Council adopt this policy?
We may. I'm going to wait for maybe
January?
I'm going to wait for them to just ask us that. Because right now, the swag team, Jack
okay.
or whatever, I'm just going to wait to see because right now we sounded like we were in favor of it. Now we have a copy of it. So then maybe the next step is to approve it. But let's wait and see. If they request it, we'll do it at our next meeting. Because they have not asked me anything. And on the same note on this, there's going to be some kind of an EPA building blocks workshop. That's going to be not only green stormwater streets, but also complete streets. So that's in development. That should be happening in December sometime, but I don't think the dates have been nailed down. So
And SWAG is doing that too?
they're coordinating that with the EPA. It's an EPA workshop.
Be open to the public and everything?
A part of it's going to be open to the public, yes.
Great.
Okay. All right. The next thing here, subcommittee report. So if anybody has anything, I'll just go in order.
Sure.
So Larry, let's know what's going on with your couple of projects.
I don't really have anything new to report.
Okay. So no lead, and then that other one also.
Right.
And it's going to be tough during the holidays.
I know.
All right. Okay, waste reduction. Well, Daisy can talk, and then we can. A few of us went to Daisy's classroom, and we did some work on that. But Daisy, you want to update us on what's going on so far?
Yeah, so like Dahlia said, Dahlia and Deb and I met with Sodexo last week to figure out how we can get our compost and recycling program back up at Krieger and how to make it streamlined and how to kind of get everybody on board. So some ideas that were thrown out were to get volunteers from the community to come into our lunch periods and help facilitate the kids and putting the correct items in the correct place and having the kids, shepherding the kids as they were taking the compost out to the back of the building. Also, we're going to order some large banners to hang over each station. So what makes this kind of complicated for us is that we do several different spots. So we do the compost of all food, but we also have a separate section for clear plastic bags that go to Trex and get turned into patio furniture. And then we have chip bags that get recycled with TerraCycle that we get money for the school for. And then we have recycling and then the garbage. So there's a lot of different pieces that go into the puzzle. So we'll get long banners to hang on the ceiling that say, chip bags go right here. And so it's very clear of what goes where. So I'm very excited for this to come back. And we have some students who keep asking, where's the recycling? Where's the compost? Miss Lee, when's this coming back? So that's exciting. I got to grab those kids and, we'll form a committee, and Alasia can be a part of that too. And then we're working with
Shoes? What about the shoes?
Oh, shoes. Yeah, there's that. So we recently gave about 600 pairs of shoes to the Changing Footprints organization. And then they actually give us about 600 back of tennis shoes and winter boots. So we are stocked for the season with any type of winter boots that any kid in the district needs. So hopefully we'll get some more requests for that. And we're always available to take more shoes of any type in any condition, and then those will get.
You think 600 pairs of shoes and boots is what you got?
Yeah.
Wow. So, and you think you'll go through all those?
I don't know. Hopefully.
Yeah, it'd be interesting.
It's been a slow start to get teachers from other districts to request shoes, but the word is slowly getting out. So hopefully teachers will, and other staff members will know that it's available, and so they can request that. Maybe we can put it in the communicator again.
Yeah. And if do you guys you don't have any social media, like intra-school district social media?
Facebook pages.
You do have some, like your classes and parent groups, right?
Just like the Krieger Middle School Facebook page.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be good. Maybe
You have announcements or something? Like,
Mm-hmm.
would that help or no?
Yeah.
So, yeah, for teachers, they do a nice email. Is that weekly or?
Betsy Cohen does that weekly.
Yeah.
I think that's monthly. the
Oh, is it
communicator.
monthly?
I don't think it was weekly either, but it's very good. It's very comprehensive. It has a lot of great stuff in it. I get it.
Yeah.
And if
so-
things come up that she didn't get in the monthly one, then you'll get notices throughout the week.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's true.
So just to add to the Sodexo meeting, I was very pleased at how willing Dave Williamson from Sodexo was to really support this, and willing to come up with stuff, and willing to have a pizza party every month for the winning lunch hour. Yeah, so they were really real proactive. And I had asked, if there was anybody in Sodexo who's, this is their thing. This is their task, is to do these kinds of, recycling or whatever, waste reduction. They're in the custodial business and everything. You'd think they'd have somebody set up. And he was going to look. He didn't know of anybody offhand, but he was going to look. And so he, he said he would do a pizza party every month. And then Daisy would, at the end of the year, do a big prize. So it'll be, the competition will be between the 3 lunch hours. So, and it's kind of a mix of grades. It's, it's only 2 grades, but 3 lunch hours. So about 100 and some each, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I thought that was really nice. And then I have not yet. You emailed that, didn't you? Those signs that you wanted us to look at. I haven't done that yet, but I will do that. But that was really, I was really encouraged by their enthusiasm to, get behind this and find a way to make it work. And, they could, find out whatever kind of container or anything that we needed. And and he'll talk to, and then Daisy was going to also do a policy about, what we wanted from the custodians. And then, it would come from Dave. So she would give it to Dave Williamson, and he will give it to the custodians. Because that was part of the issue, too, is that different custodians didn't want to do this or mess with that, or they just, were not interested in, in this happening. And so, but he'll put instructions out for us, for the custodians. So they'll do it according to what Daisy sets up.
I mean, the challenge will be to find the chaperone or the,
the
value
volunteers.
leaders, volunteers to come during lunch.
Yeah, we were hoping, because Dahlia was going to talk about this group at dinner with the league, but it got canceled for weather. So we thought that would be a good group. League of Women Voters might be a good group for volunteers. Where else were we thinking? Wasn't there another?
We could ask at Green Drinks for sure.
Oh, yeah,
that'd
that
be
is the other one, I think. Yeah.
Next Thursday we have a meeting.
Yeah.
So,
Bring the volunteers.
Yes, I have the forms. It's kind of a process.
If anybody wants to be there to recruit volunteers, you're more than welcome to.
They could do like one day every 2 weeks or something like that.
Yeah,
Like if we get enough people.
understandably,
Yeah.
How about at the senior center?
For
There
volunteers,
be
maybe.
there?
Yeah,
I mean,
maybe.
retirees
That's
have
a good
time
idea.
to spare. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Service
Totally.
League?
Daisy, you have a question
sorry?
about the
Service League?
Yeah, like Rotary or something, or
Yeah.
yeah. I think someone was saying Rhodey already has a hard time getting
Mm-hmm.
volunteers to do stuff. But it's a good idea for sure. Senior center. Mhm.
Question, are the banners going to have a visual image and word?
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Right, that's what we were all kind of looking at. We were all going to give some input on those.
Yeah, it's important to have the picture also.
I can actually forward you all the images, and then you can give me some feedback. That would be really
But
helpful.
one thing we like is the word landfill instead of garbage.
Oh,
Think
absolutely.
that it goes
yeah.
into the landfill.
Oh, yeah.
Landfill.
We were
trash,
trying to
yeah.
think of a good image for that. I think was Dave going to look for an image? Like a mound or something with a truck dumping.
Yeah,
or
that's
Oh,
a
dump
couple
truck
of
something.
seagulls. They'll be good.
Oh, yeah, definitely. See.
So I have one more question.
Yeah.
Is this at Krieger and Barker now?
Just
Or
Krieger
just
right now.
still just Krieger?
Yeah.
But ideally, with this, the policy that we set up, then it can just be an easy transfer to the rest of the schools. The high school is recycling now. They have
are.
10 or 12 recycling bins in the cafeteria and then right outside the cafeteria. So they're on board and
Oh,
they're
that's
good.
great.
Yeah,
They're recycling, though, breaking it down like you want it broken
just
down?
recycling. Yeah,
So
And
just
sorrow.
yeah, just regular
Cans.
recycling.
Mm.
cans, bottles, paper, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. No compost. Compost is kind of hard because it's with Krieger we have 113 acres and we have a huge compost bin in the back, and not every school has that. So it's recycling alone is perfect.
And you throw everything in that compost.
hmm
Dairy, everything.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
We're not using the soil for anything.
No, I'm just
yeah.
impressed. I'm impressed.
Oh.
I can't compost
Yeah.
well. I don't.
It's hard. It's hard to. I do it, but I don't do any dairy or meat or processed anything. Just really, like real whole food scraps.
Yeah.
So, and it's still, I still have to fight with the critters.
Oh, and they like to eat it.
I was actually going to ask the similar question to what Commissioner Moore asked in regards to expanding this particular project into other schools, but what about also expanding it into the community as a whole, like especially in some of our neighborhoods that have lower quality food options, especially our food deserts, where you might see more waste. So kind of maybe looking at a potential recommendation for policies on the community level where we start looking at ways to implement waste reduction.
Yeah, I think it's a great idea. I think it requires more of the development of the neighborhood associations. Who could do that? Like there's Eastport is pretty well developed, and I know you're in there, and that group is pretty. You guys do stuff.
We're dwindling out, but again, the city itself gave every homeowner a recycle bin and a regular trash can, and then like in Eastport, our garbage day is Friday, and then our recycle is first and third Monday. So, a lot of people seem to be doing it. Recycling, putting their recycle bin out with their recycle stuff in it, and then their trash on the trash day.
What are you thinking about in the community? Like any ideas about how we could make that happen? To improve the rate of recycling or.
Well, I know in Eastport that there are like neighborhood cleanups and things like that, but unfortunately I do a lot of walking around the neighborhood, but I do still see a lot of broken glass, a lot of things like that. So unfortunately, we are still seeing some waste that is getting out into the neighborhoods. But honestly, a lot of the homeowners do a very good job of keeping properties clean and everything like that in the surrounding areas. But there are some of the vacant lots, some of the wooded areas that are unoccupied and things like that, where trash might tend to blow that way and whatnot. So how do we kind of work on a community level to kind of broaden our scope on a project like this to integrate some, some very creative policies in regards to combating some of our urban sustainability issues?
That sounds great. Especially at apartment complexes. I know the solid waste district has had a difficult time getting recycling dumpsters in a lot of apartment complexes. So
And there are
Yeah,
some
that's a good
areas
idea.
like apartment complexes where some of those things might be limited. So then you're not completely capturing everything, right? So some of those items are still probably ending up in landfills or in places where, you know, waste isn't supposed to be regulated or going. So, and you're not going to capture everything, but in a creative effort or innovative effort to try to capture some of those things, right? So, and honestly, keeping a lot of our neighborhoods clean, especially our historic neighborhoods, right? And again, kind of revisiting the topic that I mentioned earlier about the areas where we have the lower quality food options, food deserts, a lot of liquor stores, fast food areas, and things like that, where you're actually seeing an increase of waste, trash and things like that in the open areas.
What if you encouraged greatly your individual council people to do neighborhood cleanups every now and again? Because I know the waste department does do Earth Day cleanups, and they change how they did it every couple of years. They did a neighborhood one and an area one, but that's just in April. So maybe, you know, the squeaky wheel gets the most oil if we all talk to our council people regularly and want a neighborhood cleanup. I know I'd be behind that. I live right next to Dairy Queen, and it is a mess all the time. The old owner hired people to take very good care of it, and it was very well maintained, and now there's garbage all over the place. And it's like, do I trespass to get the garbage? No, I can't. So it would be really nice in any city neighborhood, I think, especially, and near any restaurants. And I see people that use their window as their garbage can as they're leaving.
Yeah.
That's fun. Not really, but
Yeah,
education.
I think it's a legitimate, you know, ask to the city council that all the, you know, city council members who represent wards, you know, organize neighborhood cleanups in their wards. I'm sorry. You know, I think that's a reasonable ask from this commission.
Yes.
But I think this also, the support, it's got to also be a grassroots initiative as well. So networking with different neighborhood associations, any NGOs, our residents and things like that, and our neighbors, our families, our friends, getting them involved and making it a community-wide initiative. And then that's how we influence or encourage the council to better support policy recommendations on a citywide level.
I think any other community organizations. There's Elston Grove, and then
Green.
I'm sorry,
Village Green.
Oh, Village Green. I don't know that one. But then there's
It's
a
been
South
around for
Side.
a couple years.
Oh yeah, there's a newer South Side one too. I think they called it like South Gateway or something.
That's the Village Green one.
Oh, is it? They changed their name
To
encompass more people.
right.
So Pastor Carroll was
yeah,
in it.
that's
that
him.
one?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
So
It started out just as Village Green, and then they, you know, encompassed a larger area. So it's the Southgate one you're talking about. It's the same one.
Oh, okay. So there's 3. I don't know whether it's
Eastport
good
meets
ideas to
tonight.
get them established.
Eastport Association meets tonight at the fire training station on Michigan Boulevard. Actually, the entrance is on Broadway
Actually, they
at
canceled.
6 o'clock.
They canceled?
Yeah, they canceled and they rescheduled it till next Thursday.
They did.
They did.
Oh, I hope my people don't show up.
Oh, yeah.
Dominique, you mentioned grassroots. What about Noriska with Monday mornings? She's mentioned branching out into neighborhoods with that does the beach cleanup on Mondays. And I know she's got quite a following.
Okay, that's
So I can almost guarantee she'd be at least interested in facilitating that in some way.
Her neighborhood may be a great place to start, actually.
And her
Because that
board,
includes
it's
doing-
Sharon's, Representative Carnes, I believe, is
Well, she
Here's Tracy till
Well, now it's going to be Tracy.
in
Okay.
January. Be
in
Tracy.
January. But for now,
Yeah.
she's in that ward. So
Yeah.
I
If
kind of
that's
see this
helpful.
happening though in the spring, maybe March
Yeah.
before our Earth Week or
Right,
Earth Month
yes.
or whatever.
Yeah.
Like,
But I mean, if
possibly-
it's something to continue
Let's
on
gear
and
up
do
to
once a
March.
month, even in the winter, I'll dig through the snow.
I'm not doing that. Sorry.
I have 2 more projects. I am, thanks to Nancy, my students and I were partnering with Jim Poyser with the Earth Charter Indiana to have my students come up with a climate resolution to present to City Council to change some laws in Michigan City. So I'm getting a group together at school. It'll be an after-school club, and then I would like to include this commission. I'm not sure exactly how yet, but once I know, I'll let you know. So hopefully we can partner with that.
Yeah, did you see in Chesterton they just did one?
Yeah.
Yeah, the kid did such a great job. He was so articulate about, the purpose of this policy or the resolution, and it was really terrific. I thought he did a great job. But yeah, and I think I got that template. You probably got it too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
And the thing that's great about Jim is he'll take them from research to development to them actually having input, in what they want for the community. So I think that's great, instead of just handing a template on, to actually have them do, the studying and the processing and the analyzing, and then the coming up with, what they want to see for Michigan City.
Yeah. That's great. Does he comes up here and
He'll
works
come
with
up
them?
here,
Isn't
yes.
that nice? That's great.
Yeah, absolutely.
Great.
So you have a possible start date for that? Or?
Not yet. We're still gathering kids. And then with the Pepsi Recycle Rally, so I mentioned this before, I think, but this past school year, Krieger got 9th place in the nation, so we got $10,000 for the school. And every place you go up is $5,000 more, up to $50,000 for first place. So I'd like to, we partner with several businesses and organizations in Michigan City and LaPorte, but I'd like to branch out more. And so our Waste Management Committee, we want to see which businesses we can reach out to collect bottles and cans, and that's where the money comes from. And then they can either drop it off at Krieger, or I can train them to be there to weigh themselves. So they have to be a trained weigher, essentially, and they'll get their own scale, and they'll weigh the recycling and then send me the numbers. So the more community involvement, the higher place we can get, and then the more money we can get for the school.
So when does this start?
It started in September.
Oh.
And it goes until May 20-something.
Are you reaching out to businesses, and then do you provide or have access to provide the bin to put them in?
Yeah.
So do you have like a flyer or something for
Not
business?
yet.
Okay. That's
Could
what
you
we're working on.
email?
Yeah, I mean, tons of places we could all go, gas stations and.
In this plastic bottles?
Yep.
And
And
aluminum cans.
And aluminum
cans.
cans.
Aluminum cans.
Drink
Do they have
containers.
to be separated or no? Together?
Yeah.
Because you gotta weigh 'em.
Separate?
Yeah.
So, and is there like a designated bin kind of thing, or is it just bagged?
Just bagged is fine.
Yeah.
Yep.
So any bin with a bag, they can just take the bag out.
Yeah, but we can provide clear plastic bags, containers, and scales.
Okay.
Do they need to weigh it themselves?
If they want to,
If they want
that would
to.
be easier for us than taking all that stuff. So that would be ideal. But if they don't want to, we'll just take the stuff.
And then bring it to your school?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yep.
Okay.
Our secretary is very good at getting intakes from the community, with
Nice.
recycling and stuff. So,
That's awesome.
Yeah, and tell everyone what you do with the money, because I don't think everyone knows.
well, with the $10,000, we got our gym floor redone, and we got a new scoreboard, and then
New what?
scoreboard for the gym, and then boys and girls are both getting new basketball uniforms.
That's great.
Yeah.
That is awesome. So you'll do a flyer,
Mm-hmm.
and then you'll get that out to us, and then we'll just take it. We can take it anywhere, right?
Yeah.
And ask them to participate.
Mm-hmm.
Daisy, does Pepsi provide a conversions chart? Let's say 10 cans is this many ounces, or 10 bottles is this many ounces. Because, or even if you could do that, then that would be easier than people having to have a scale, to weigh things.
Oh yeah.
They could just say, there's 200 cans in here, so that converts to so many pounds. Does that make
Right.
sense?
Yeah.
Little bottles are varied in size, though. That's the only
Well,
thing.
cans don't, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bottles do, but cans don't. I'm just trying to think of ease in getting people to participate.
Yeah,
It's easier to count than it is to weigh.
that's true.
But she was saying that you don't have to weigh it yourself. You could just give that to
But to
them
make it
weigh.
easier for Daisy and the
Yeah.
students at Krieger.
Yeah.
Okay, that's just something that came to mind.
And then
Yeah.
if they weigh it, they just like stick a note on it? Like how much it weighs?
Email me. They can email me the numbers. Because what I plug in the weight, but then they actually convert it back into containers. So they must have that number somewhere.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. I'll look.
Okay, that would be great. And then they could do it either way. Send in the weight or send in the number.
So, and since last year, the conversion that they do is Krieger has recycled the weight of a humpback whale.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so awesome.
Dang.
So, but I'll look for those numbers for sure. And that's all I have.
All right.
I had another comment about your banner idea over the things. You know, you were talking about a word as well as a graphic to describe what goes in. What if you just took actual examples of the items and just attached them to the banner? So, like, obviously everybody knows what paper is, but like when you talk about like chip bags, how about just taking some of the chip bags and just attaching them to the banner, and then everybody will easily identify with what's there? Because sometimes in a drawing, it gets misconstrued as to what exactly it could be. It depends on how good the graphic is, of course, but
Yeah.
you might actually just to see
It'll be
a
permanent.
Dorito bag or whatever,
Yeah.
you know, and
Yeah.
that's it.
Let's get a fake sandwich for the, compost or something so that doesn't like rot.
Right.
Yeah.
Is it the banners will be hanging there permanently, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. So yeah, they don't have to come up and down.
I mean, most things like cans and bottles and paper, I think everybody knows what that is, but other things that are a little bit harder to
Yeah.
distinguish might just put it up there.
Yeah. Good idea.
That is good.
Yeah.
What classifies as a plastic bag?
Hmm
That's a difficult
There's so
one.
many different
It
kinds.
is. It's hard.
Yeah.
Ziploc wrapping, paper wrapping, all the things.
Yeah.
So.
Just the zip tie them on there.
I'm just gonna step on your phone.
All right, I'm going to go to the Water Quality Committee. Yesterday we met. We had a Trail Creek Watershed Partnership meeting for 2.5 hours. It was really good, though. But I did mention to them all about our Earth Month and some of our, efforts that we're doing. So I think there's going to be some interest in their partners kind of participating. So if we have like how they can participate, like we say a table with information or
Send
maybe
my
an
email. I've
activity.
been discussing all week with all sorts of people.
Great. So kind of I did a little outreach on that.
Thank you.
And also, so I guess Save the Dunes, which Nancy might know something about, like had a report on all the spills that were happening in ArcelorMittal. Do you know anything about it? I looked online to see if I could find the link to that, and I still didn't see it. Like the most recent report. I know they're participating in a lawsuit with the Hoosier Environmental Council.
Save the Dunes is not involved in the lawsuit.
Okay.
It is Heck and also a law center out of Chicago.
Okay.
So the two of them are doing the lawsuit. It's been posted on Facebook.
Okay.
Okay, so if you look, I'm just saying it has been posted
Yeah,
there.
I thought it was on your website. Okay.
I'm not sure if it's on the website because I usually get most of my information on Facebook.
Okay.
But it has been posted. And also, I'll have to wait to talk about the other thing till our next meeting.
There's also footage, if everyone has seen, like that Portage Lakefront, about how
Yeah.
it's
I
like
saw
washing away their lakefront building is, and that
I shared a
walkway is
video
gone.
on our Facebook page. This is Michigan City.
That is
good.
quite
Sustainability
something
page.
else. And then
Yeah.
Stop 37, did you see? There were pictures of that house right by us that
Oh, really?
the
Where's that?
stairways
I
are
took
falling
my.
down and whatever.
Yeah,
like,
I took pictures.
on next
'cause-
door, I think it was. So that's where I saw it. So
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I mean, that's really everyone thought it was a bad idea for them to build in the first place, and I don't know why they did just continue to do that. So we've got to be prepared for climate changes.
Yeah, it is bad. So, and I think they, I don't know if there's been any decisions made, but it sounds like they're discussing whether to close that Portage Lakefront facility.
I believe it's closed.
It's closed now for evaluation.
For now, yeah. Is there supposed to be a talk there soon? Dr.
yeah, that's
Argeland's doing a talk
Yeah.
there.
That's right.
And
I was
that
going to
was
announce that. Yeah.
so the same talk that was with Green Drinks, or similar, I believe, but
It's the
she
same
mentioned
one.
that now it's closed to the public. So that
Oh, so they have relocated that?
They have a relocation plan.
I'm not familiar with that. Just her
They have a
original talk.
relocation plan if it's not open at that point in time. So,
Okay.
And Nancy, is there any update in the Green Transportation Committee?
Where we left it was that Dominique and I were going to meet with the transportation department head, but based on the elections happening, November, we pretty much who was going to be the next mayor was an unknown. So we're going to wait until after the first of the year because it doesn't make sense to start a conversation with somebody that may or may not be there, for long-term planning. And I believe that's the only thing that we had made a commitment to doing that, we're just going to do later.
Okay.
Okay, Dominique, did you have anything you wanted to add?
No, I don't have anything to add to that.
Right, thank you. And Grants Committee, I don't know if you want to start, Deb, but I will complete because I went to visit a lot of people to talk about.
Oh, good.
the
Yeah.
grants.
So, Dahlia and I met and looked over, I think, 3 opportunities that we had found. And one of them looked like a real a possibility, except the application's due in December. So, again, the whole, city government transition, issue kind of complicates all of that. And so, we just don't know what's going to happen. But it was a great opportunity, and we thought the program we could do is a program to reduce waste in Washington Park by providing bags to people for their recycle as they come in and for garbage, and then providing more places, receptacles for those bags on the way out. And then, that was about it. But then
Then I went to see. I went to the solid waste district and talked to Sasha G. Burns, and I got like the explanation of what kind of dumpster or kind of container we need to have to do this recycling, because the dilemma is like the park district doesn't have extra employees to go to every single garbage can and empty 2 of them. However, I found out from her, and then I visited Shannon Eason from the Parks Department, who gave me their perspective on that board. So we found all these cool little containers. Actually, there's like a truck that has all these things on the side, or a trailer, and you just hook it up to a truck and then bring it, and whatever. We found all kinds of interesting things. However, the park board is extremely sensitive to anything, and I mean anything being in the view shed of the beach. So if it is in the view of the beach, there is not going to be anything there, even as cute or pretty or painted or whatever as it is. Apparently that's not happening.
well, there's a dumpster there now, right? I mean, there's dumpsters that sit there
Right.
Depends where, I
in the
guess.
parking lot.
Yeah, well, Shannon says they could get these containers right away. It's just that the problem is they're not being allowed to put them there by the board. That was her take on it. But then we talked more about if each of those, places where they have a garbage can, every one of those stops or whatever you call them, they don't have the personnel to empty it. So, that's the problem that we kind of have to work on. She can get containers, but so we have to kind of creatively think about how these could be emptied, because I think on Monday mornings, at least over the warm season, it would be just great to empty that somehow. But they don't have extra personnel. No matter how many people use the beachfront, they don't get additional money.
The issue I understand is that people weren't doing the separation, so a lot of things that were destined and should have gone to the landfill were actually ending up in the recycling containers. They tried it before, okay, and they don't have time for their personnel to go through and sort it out. That was the issue. It's not that they don't have personnel that could do 2 containers at the same time, but they don't have the time to do the sorting for the people on the beach that should be doing the sorting. This goes in the landfill container, this goes in the recycling container. So again, it gets back to education, I think, and people knowing exactly where to put things. And I don't know what kind of containers they tried before.
Correct. Well, we have to kind of follow up on that a little bit and then creatively think about how to do this. So are there like work programs for people, maybe like people with disabilities of some kind that could kind of help out, or some kind of thing like this, you know what I'm saying?
Jim Musial. Is that how you say his last name? Musial.
Musial.
That word. He does all the job training with the homeless and everything.
It would just be nice to pay people to do it.
Right.
Yeah.
But I mean,
it might
he
not
would be a
burden
good
the
connection,
park.
I think, at least maybe to
Alright.
help find
Yeah.
employees or
Right. That's a good
interns.
Mm-hmm. And she also mentioned they did something similar with bags, and all they had is bags like flying all over the place. They actually have bags.
Oh, go.
Like
So they
people
turned into garbage,
didn't
yeah.
take care of it and
Yeah,
whatever.
it
They were just one flying all over. So it was like contributing more to the problem than saving. So like that's good though to be connecting to all these different areas and kind of maybe discussing and seeing. So she's aware of the problem. I mean, she's working on all kinds of grants, but like, so here's another thing. This is why I actually passed out our ordinance. So if you take a look, I was trying to figure, like, I was getting the scoop on how do we apply for a grant, because we don't have any match money, but even if we found match, like, who is the entity that applies for the grant? So I found somewhere in here, and I kind of lost it here. So that we can apply for grants, but
Duties and responsibilities.
yeah, so it's
Apply for
under,
any federal, state, local, or private grants, appropriations, or gifts.
what page are you on?
3.
Page 3.
Under D.
D6.
Duties and responsibilities.
Right, but subject to the approval of the mayor and the common council. So it looks like both have to sign off on it. And that was a problem with, let's just say we got something together for this last grant, match, everything. It has to go through, the 3 readings at the city council, and the mayor has to approve it. Like, it seems like it's a lot of things to happen all at once. So we need to plan for something earlier. Yes, Nancy?
Well, as I said, Councilman Prisbalinski, Don Prisbalinski, the president, he before has collapsed second and third readings if there's a deadline that needs to be, reached for something. So that's something to look at. Usually when the common council passes something, the mayor will sign off on it. There's usually no, debate or whatever about him doing or not doing it. So I don't think we need to be concerned about the mayor's signature, but it's moving it through the common council fast enough is what we're really looking at now.
And will they appropriate the money?
Yeah, there's a cash match.
Well, yeah,
required,
I know,
too, so.
I know.
Like 12,500 we're going to ask for them. So
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I don't know if that's even a doable thing, but I guess we have to find out.
Yeah, so you just try to find a city council person who will sponsor an ordinance, for that money. I put a message over to John Stimley, but I haven't heard back. I think he's actually out of the country right now, so I'm not sure if he's.
Okay.
I'm not sure if he's.
Well, anyway, I think we need to think of these projects like that. That's still a good project, and I think we have to try to work on that. But have them ready, kind of. I don't want to say shovel ready, but like ready to submit for a grant. Like the idea kind of fleshed out, ready to go. So when we see the funding opportunity, we can kind of put things together and do it. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of step one. So we're starting this out. We're kind of thinking about it, but if we just got to get something on paper, ready to go, and then when we hear of an opportunity, just kind of jump on it. So that's kind of my 2 cents on that. But I did go around and ask and got all kinds of interesting perspectives. Like, it's not an impossible thing, but it kind of seems, I saw the challenges. Let's just put it that way.
That's great.
And I strongly feel we need to deal with it and take care of it, because I've been part of the Monday morning cleanup at the beach over this past summer, and the amount of things that could have been recycled, that we picked up. It's great down there. It's great.
Okay, great. Education engagement. Lots of things happening, I'm sure. Andy?
Yeah, I've had a busy week on the phone and emails. I've contacted Monday mornings. They have confirmed to be there with a table, people, and or craft and activity.
This is for just recap, this is for the
for the Earth Day event. And I've been calling it Earth Day Extravaganza. I'm sure we can come up with a fun name for it or whatever. But Monday mornings is confirmed. LaPorte County Solid Waste is confirmed with at least items and a person. I talked to Kim Swift from the National Park. I need to talk to her some more, but she has said that she can get someone there from the National Park. Dunes Learning Center will provide at least information and activities. They might not have people available. Dr. Aaron Argeland will be there with the table for Mount Baldy and or Coastline research information. And all these people will have like an activity or information available there too. A friend of mine who's just a consumer, but is in the process of like switching, constantly finding what's the best environmental alternative. She switched to like bamboo toothbrushes and things like that. She wants to have a consumer table. If not, instead of this, do that, with this kind of garbage bag or this kind of container, use this straw instead of that straw. Daisy and I briefly discussed having something for Krieger, but that was just briefly. And then I've put in messages to the Soil and Water District, Jen Birchfield with what is the Urban Waters?
Urban Waters, yeah.
Dennis might do Master Gardeners.
Good.
So I have to call. Wait, who else? LaPorte County Parks. I've talked to. I'm still talking to Save the Dunes that they'll do. I need to talk to Shirley Hines, LaPorte County Isaac Walton, the state park.
How about the Potawatomi Audubon?
And that's on my list too. Well, Audubon was on the list, but thank you. I'll do the Potawatomi.
At Sierra Club?
Yep, that's on the list. Nature Conservancy is on the list. Friendship Gardens is on the list.
Where are these people going to fit? In the library?
The library.
In the conference room. So, we'll see who confirms, and I'll go in there
We'll spread to the lobby.
and figure out, the areas and whatnot. And, some tables, maybe have half a table and another half a table. The Dunes Learning Center is part of the National Park. So, they could we could have all the parks people, state park right next to the, national park or whatever. And I'm sure some people will not say yes, or with other Earth Day events going on, they might not have the people to be able to do it.
Awesome.
And then I've talked to 2 artists and have confirmed from Laurel Izzard and Carrie Harbart that they'll be there at least with a crafter activity. And then we were thinking to, on a TV in the background, have Shifting Sands playing. And I believe, Nancy, you said you had a copy of that.
Multiple copies.
Okay, great. And then, maybe Recycling Olympics, like you said, we could just have somebody man that area and have 2 kids at a time, be like, go, and just have fun with it. And maybe we talked about create a pollinator seed thing, but I'm going to ask all of the tables about what their activity is, and Dunes Learning Center or something might have something like that, and I'll make sure like the state park and the national park aren't doing the same activity. They have various activities with water and things. I do need, who's the worm lady? The worm lady. Everyone keeps telling me
Kathy
about.
Sipple.
Is Kathy the worm lady?
Sipple.
Okay.
Yeah, she does the red worms. Right. It is Kathy.
Everyone's like, you need the composting worm lady, and I was
it's
like,
Kathy Sipple.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Do you have a date, Andy?
Oh yeah, the 25th. I think we said it last time.
April
25th. Our hours that we have the room booked are like 1 to 5, but we haven't come up with an official time. I thought we could vote on that the next meeting for the official time.
And you want to allow setup time for the people that have tables.
Mm-hmm. Yep, we've already taken that into consideration, and then also tear down. So.
And do you have one room or just both rooms?
I'm not sure. I'll go and look.
I would recommend for that setup both rooms.
Yeah.
Right. Well, especially they have the divider. So with all the construction and things going on, I honestly can't tell you if that room that I'm thinking of is even going to be there. So I need to do a little bit more talking with Robin. Oh, I forget her name, the contact lady.
Yeah,
It's Robin. Okay. But she sent me email for all the paperwork we have to fill out to turn in. And as long as it's open to the public, it's free. And as soon as we come up with hours and whatnot for all of their advertising, we'll be put on that as well. LaPorte County Solid Waste did not want to officially partner in the project, but I need to ask if everybody wants to at least be mentioned in any kind of advertising.
But they're coming.
Oh yes, but they just don't have the time to
Official.
provide, or time or people to provide extra help in setting up or, you know, getting it all rolling. I mean, so far I don't have a committee for this. I've just done this. So as it goes further, I'll definitely grab some extra help. But most of the tables and the people that I've spoke to, this isn't their first rodeo. They've tabled lots of places, and they'll just show up with their stuff and set out. Oh, another one I might want. Does anyone know what the restrictions are for animals in the library? Well, Indiana Humane. Are we familiar with Indiana Humane? Nicole from Indiana Humane brings animals with her. She's got owls. She's got Phoenix the hawk. Was it a red-tailed or red-shouldered hawk, and all the rescue animals, all of her ambassador animals.
Just ask and find out.
So yeah, I'll have to do that because I think that would be a big
But they
draw,
don't let them free. You know.
right?
They manage them. So.
Right.
Is NIPSCO on the list to maybe do some energy efficiency?
Nope, they were not on my list. I will.
They might be able to, bring some stuff, shower heads and stuff.
That's I am setting up to have my house done before I start promoting it personally, and I have to clean my basement first. So once my basement's clean for the holidays, I'll go ahead and go on with that one.
Could you pass me your notebook, please? So I think I missed a couple.
Sure.
Thanks.
That was really impressive.
Yeah, that's great.
Oh, thank you.
Great.
Wow.
Anything happening with the recycle the containers, compostable versus styrofoam?
Not
right
a lot.
now?
I've talked to a couple people, the same people that I've talked to, and we're kind of stuck as to how to really promote that without offering money to compensate, and do a more of a just lead by example, no shaming. We're working on trying to get maybe an article in the paper that shows the promote. Look at this restaurant and what they're doing. I read a research about
restaurants that do
right.
this.
Look at these restaurants. Look what they're doing, and then have it be more of an organic. Other restaurants look at it. When you shame people, they don't want to do it, but when they notice their neighbors are doing it, they're like, maybe. What I'm keeping up with the Joneses mentality.
Yeah, the Sustainability Commission's green restaurant list, and then we'll have them on there.
Right.
And people will say, well, how do I get on there? Well, we'll tell you how.
Yes. So I haven't officially had any more conversations.
I was just asking.
About that.
That's really cool. That's a good idea.
So, already, Shoreline does paper straws.
Mhm.
And I think the coffee shop does, right?
Yeah, I
Sure.
noticed there's a lot of compostable ware too, which is an interesting thing because a lot of the compostable items aren't truly compostable. And a lot of places, education's important there because they're compostable in commercial facilities only. And that's the small print. And we don't have those commercial facilities available to us. So what they do is they just contaminate the recycling stream and cause more trouble than they're worth.
So it might be nice, though, just to, I know it's not much, but maybe to celebrate on our page, Shoreline, hey, a picture of somebody holding a paper straw.
That's a
great
great
Shoreline,
idea.
Say, look, they're doing paper straws, yay. And, at least put it on our Facebook page.
And the
And same with Lakeshore.
carry-out boxes at Fish Camp.
My big thing personally is the
It's the
carry-out boxes.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I prefer to.
Fish
you
Camp,
start small.
Fiddleheads
Fish
too.
Camp, Fiddleheads. I witnessed some at Shoreline, some paper containers. So maybe they're in the process of switching. I can't speak for that restaurant. I just saw some
Okay.
paper. So that's nice. And it's a transition too. If you've ordered 10 boxes of styrofoam, well, it's wasteful to not go through your product first.
Right.
So, some places might be in a transition that I'm not aware of. And I always want to call it Moe's because that was his first restaurant.
Chickpea?
Chickpea. I've seen, again, I can't speak officially, but I've seen a lot of things in foil from his restaurant, or the foil with the paper top. So, those are also another option. And all the Chinese containers, those are wax paper. So, there's options out there. Sometimes they're a little bit more expensive, but yeah, if we do a list and encourage it, next time anybody's out at a restaurant that has the paper straw,
if you get a paper container, take a picture maybe, and we can kind of put it up on Facebook and see.
Yeah, we could invite people on Facebook, to email pictures or something, and we'll put them up. If they have a
let's catch
picture.
People being green.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh,
Yeah. I like that.
Caught being green.
Excellent.
Yeah.
All right, we'll do that.
Awesome. All right. Is there any new business that anybody has?
Oh, we skipped over the climate action plan.
Oh, I'm so
update,
sorry.
And I'm
Correct.
going to let Dominique off the hook there, so that should be just my name there.
Okay, and
Okay.
then I also did send
And
the
there was
South
a
Bend one.
doodle poll that was supposed to go out, and the minutes said you were going to do it. So I don't know where in process that is. We were talking about after the first of the year, and Steve Perkins and Kathy Dennis said, throw us some dates because we're probably much more flexible than the sustainability commissioners are. So do we want to do a half a day? Do we want to do a day? How much? Half a day?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do we need to come up with some dates? And
No, we were doing.
Well, doodle poll. Don't ask me to do a doodle poll for like a month,
No, just
9 to 12. Each day of the year.
No, not asking that.
Yeah.
It would be half days, either morning, afternoon. Commissioners.
Weekends, right?
Yeah, I think it's going to be weekends because so many people work full-time jobs. So would Saturday be best for people? Because I realize there are people in the room here who have commitments on Sundays with their churches.
Saturday's probably good.
Saturday? Okay.
Yeah.
So then maybe we could, just do...
Saturdays in January and
Saturdays
February?
in January and February, morning and afternoon on those Saturdays.
Yeah. That works for me.
Well, after the 8th, I won't be here in February, so. But yeah, I can go up to the 8th. All right, so.
And probably the first week in January is not a good idea because of New Year's and
The 4th is too early, yeah. So
Yeah.
January 11th through, like I say, I'll be gone. You guys can have it without me, but
No, we
I'll
won't
have
do
to-
it without you.
February 8th is going to be my last Saturday for about a month.
Yeah, I mean, that's 5 Saturdays.
That's 5 Saturdays.
All
So if we can, send that
Do
out
it.
and find out when
Mhm.
most people, and hopefully we have one of those that everybody's available.
It's kind of early now, so it's empty, but you know how things fill up, right?
Yeah, well,
Does anybody have a
good
conflict
guess.
right now?
On which day?
Any Saturdays?
Saturday,
in
starting the
January?
11th of January.
No.
I will.
Um,
But like,
yeah.
right now, there's blocked out.
Just send it out.
You what?
Okay. Yeah, she's the secretary.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Mornings, afternoons, January.
Yeah, any of them are fine for me. At
First
least
week
this
of
point.
February.
So far.
11,
right.
18, 25, 1.
11,
The
18,
Saturday.
25. Is
11.
it 5? I thought there was 5 altogether. 8th is the last
25.
one, right? Isn't it 5?
But she can do the 8.
Yeah, I can't.
That's the
Eighth is
last
my
one.
last.
Got it,
Yeah,
okay.
I'll be gone for.
And what is this called?
This is called the
Climate Action
Climate
Plan?
Action Plan workshop.
And I did send you guys a South Bend one.
Yeah.
You saw, but like those are impossible. I'm not going to copy those, but
Yeah, it was
something to
outrageous.
look
I
at.
saw
It was really
it.
interesting.
Yeah, it was a lot.
It was
Yeah.
a lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
And they have a department head of their sustainability department,
Staff,
so
actual staff.
it makes a big difference. I think,
It absolutely does, yeah.
the person is devoting 100% of their full-time work
Well, and
to
that, even so,
sustainability.
even so, they contracted out to a Delta Institute to do it.
I just think short and
Yeah.
to the point would be much more usable for city departments than.
Yeah, they had these interesting matrices in there. Well, they included their ordinance too, and all kinds of footnotes and stuff. But they had all these interesting matrices. Which item, and then who's responsible, when's it going to start, is it long term, short term, how much will it cost?
Our comprehensive
nice.
plan has a lot of that.
Yeah, yeah.
I can send you the sections of it that.
We should find out how much they paid for it.
Well,
Or we
we
could
can
write a
use the
grant.
comprehensive plan.
Yeah, yeah.
What are the times that we're looking for this?
Morning
or afternoon?
So
Morning,
4 hour
afternoon, morning,
window.
afternoon, morning, afternoon.
4 hours.
4 hours.
4 hours.
8 a.m., 9 a.m.,
Okay, let's say 8 to 12
Yeah, I guess
or 1 to
9.
1 to 5.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or we can do 12 to 4. I mean,
Yeah,
it's not going to
let's do-
overlap with ourselves.
Let's do 12
Yeah.
to 4 then.
Oh, yeah, that's
You know,
8
it doesn't matter.
yeah.
Yeah, 8 to 12
Yeah.
and 12 to 4. Does that sound good?
9?
9 to 1, 1 to 5.
No, 8 to 12, 9 to 4.
Get this-
Cringing at 8 o'clock on
Cringing
Saturday.
at early
Are you
hour.
talking cringing at 8 o'clock on
Saturday.
Saturday?
Oh,
I mean,
is
because
that
we'll
it?
sit,
That's okay.
if you show
That's
up at
what
8,
that
then
is.
I'm gonna, everyone's
Okay.
gonna sit
9 to
there
1
with
and
coffee
1 to
and
5? Is that
9
what
to
you want?
1
1 to
and
5.
1 to 5.
It could be 12 to 5.
12 to 5.
12 to 4, right?
12 to
Because
4. I think 12 to 4 would be fine.
Oh, so yeah, 9 to
It
1
doesn't, it doesn't matter if it
or
overlaps.
yeah, it's only gonna be one of
doing
us.
one
It's
of
only
those.
going to be one or the other.
9 to 1 or 12 to 4.
Okay.
That'd be good. Yeah.
That sounds good. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Daisy.
So you're taking off to 8 to 12.
Yeah, we're taking off the
We're
8
gonna
to
do
12.
9 to 1
The
instead.
teachers had a problem with that. I don't understand that.
That's the
No, it's
sleeping day.
I'm joking.
5:30 is hard.
Yeah.
I know. I know.
All right, sorry about the skipping that, but now to new business. Anybody has anything brand new to bring up?
Oh. Public comments, board comments. I have 2 events that I wanted to announce. Would this be the time to do it? Or
Well,
should
we
I
have no
wait?
other ones, and we have no public here, so we can just go to board comments, and that's you. You can go ahead.
Okay.
Just wanna have-
This was alluded to already. This will be an additional offering of the conversation called Lake Levels and Shoreline Erosion. Dr. Aaron Argulin presented this at Green Drinks. We had over 90 people there and everybody couldn't hear it that wanted to. So it's going to be offered again on Wednesday, November 20th at 6 p.m. And this is sponsored by Save the Dunes and Northwest Indiana Green Drinks. And as of now, it's still scheduled to be held at the Portage Lakefront and Riverwalk Pavilion. And as we know, it's closed right now, but they're, doing safety assessments is what's going on. So if the place changes, then for sure you can look on Save the Dunes Facebook page, and they will make an announcement regarding that. And also, if I find out it's changed, we can get it onto the Michigan City Sustainability Commission's page to let people know about the change of venue. And then the day after that, on Thursday, November 21st, Green Drinks will be happening 6:30 p.m. at Shoreline Brewery. Our topic is going to be climate change, crisis, chaos. And I'm very excited to say that Ethel Ruman is going to be the speaker for that. She's our new rising star in Northwest Indiana. She's like 19 years old or something, and she convened the Youth Climate Strike for Northwest Indiana, and they had 130 participants at that. And since then, she actually delivered a presentation on climate. And she's going to be doing that same presentation for us to be tweaked for our audience. So please come and support one of our really dynamic leaders for the environment in our region. So
That's going to be a good one.
yeah, I really think it's going to
Now,
be a
where
good
is this
one.
at?
Shoreline Brewery.
Oh,
I've got NAACP on that day. Is that
we
right?
do.
Because it's
Because
usually
of Thanksgiving, we're
Right.
scheduled to have it
moved. Okay.
that day.
Oh, you just moved it. Okay.
Yeah, just for
was
Also,
gonna
Society of Innovators. That's where I'm going.
Nancy, the
that's
talk
on
that
Monday,
Dr. Argelan's doing again, is there a Facebook event for that I could share?
Yes, it's already
Is it already on the sustainability page?
No, it's set up on the Save the Dunes page.
Okay, so maybe one of us should share that?
Sure.
Okay. That'll be a good one if 90 people
We had more than 90 that evening.
went.
And there were
that's
people that couldn't even get in because there were so many
people from all over, too.
Yes, we had people from Lake County, we had people from South Bend, we had people from Michigan. We had lots of people from all over the place. Yes, and she's excellent. She's very knowledgeable about this area, and she presents in such a way that you're extremely interested in what she's talking about.
All right. Anyone else on the board have any comments or something they want to share?
I don't see it on their page. Oh, the 20th? It says the 20th. Is that right? I thought it was the 21st.
November 20th.
Oh,
Green Drinks is November 21st, which is
right.
Thursday.
sorry. Okay, I'll share it to the page.
Was that at 6 o'clock?
6 o'clock for November 20th.
Yes,
And 6:30 for
is
November
21st.
21st.
If there are no other commissioner comments, are we done? I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So move.
I second.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
All right. We'll see you December 12th. That's our next scheduled meeting. Thank you.